Hi there, good to have you here. It's Victor. So for this episode, we're just going to be understanding how to use this Google Search Console to get our website visible for the first time, right? So we're going to achieve two things here. We're going to get our website verified, right, on the Search Console. Right, I'm going to show you various steps for you to get your website verified on the Search Console, and basically we're going to walk through the process of submitting the sitemap. Now, these two things are very, very important for you to be able to start getting a result like this. All right, so let's show you some results. So this is how it looks like when this is how it looks like when you start seeing result basically on your on from your website, right? So you start getting total clicks, start getting total impressions, right? You know what impressions are? Impressions are how many times a user, right? Or how many times a user saw your link in the search engine results page, right? So click through rate, we have average position. Now these are top queries. For an example, these are top queries. This website is ranking. This website is pulling out results for. So if you see here, it's cryptocurrency health and wellness. We have 109 impressions, right? So this is what happens when you have your Google Search Console all signed up and all verified very, very well. Right. Okay. So first of all, we're just going to do Search Console. Okay, so let me use a new browser for this. Sorry, not a new browser. Let me use in it. My oh, sorry, I was playing game there. Okay, so first of all, you're just going to do from your search console, from your Google search, you're just going to do or Bing, whichever browser you're using. You're just going to type in Google Search Console, and this is the first thing you're going to see, right? So get it's good for you to understand that this is the search engine results page. The search engine results page is where you get to see your results. You get to see results from Google, right? So these all these are results pulled out from Google, right? So basically, we what we want to look out for is this first one here. The ones below are basically blog and articles about search console. So this is what we want to use. So this is the tool we are looking out for. She said improve your site performance on Google Search, Google Search Console, Google Search Console tool, and the report helps you measure your site traffic and performance, fix issue. And so, if you are using Google as your main source of traffic, doing SEO, right? You want to make sure you're using Google Search Console, right? So this may not work for Bing search and other search engines, right? So this is specifically for Google. So what you're just going to do is just going to do click on Start Now. Ideally, um you have access to a search console. So far you have a Google account, right? So far you have a Gmail account, you have access to search console. Okay, so what we're going to do, I think I see I'm already logged in here already. Right. So first of all, you're just going to add property. So in the search console, your property is your website, right? So see this, click on add property. This add property is your website, right? So now there are two ways to do these verifications, right? Now you can decide to add in your URL or subdomains. Well, you can decide to enter the domain name or your subdomains, right? Or you can just decide to put in your URL name here, right? Now for this subdomain, for this one, you get to put your domain. The difference is they are going to ask you for a DNS verification, right? So this is where you got to go to your hosting platform and for you to change and for you to adjust your DNS settings. But for this, right, the only verification that you're going to do, you're going to just add a code to your website, just like a verification code, a single line of code to your website, right? Now, if you're using WordPress, for example, you just have to install a plugin called Sites. Yes, I think Sites. Let me look at that very well, so I won't be. So I get to be sure of the plugin. Right. Yes, site kits, right? So SiteKit. So that's what you need to install for this SiteKit. That's the plugin you're going to use if you're using Google, if you're using WordPress, right? So let's go back. Yeah. Right. So I wouldn't want to do another verification here, but if I've not verified this website, what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to come here and put in my URL straight up and you click on continue, right? That is the only thing you're going to do. Now, once you have done that, verification doesn't take the whole day, doesn't take forever. Immediately you get your website verified. Now you already get access to the dashboard. It's better for you to have access to the website, right? Because the verification is very, very important. So if I go to my settings, I should be able to see the verification means, right? Let me see, check here. So you see there are various form of verifications here, right? So you can put in HTML tag, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. You can add in a DNS, right? So you just need to come here, copy this. So just different verifications. So me, I chose the HTML file, right? That was the one I decided to use. That was simple for me. So you can decide to choose anyone. All they just want to achieve is they just want to be sure that you are the verified owner of the website, right? So once we have gotten our verification clear, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the sitemap, right? So for the sitemap, um, the sitemap is located from the indexing. This indexing, you go to sitemap. Now, why do you need to submit the sitemap? The sitemap is very, very important because it gets to tell the search console, right? It's just like you're giving the search console or you're giving Google like a full-time access to your website for them to crawl and see what you have installed for them. So basically, I talked about it before. I said crawling. If you have external and internal links coming in and going out from your website, automatically Google has access to your website, right? It's called crawling. So the bots are doing the work. The bot comes in from external links rather from external links to your website. Now the only thing they do, they just crawl to get to know okay what this website is all about, just to have first hand information, right? But the next process, which is where we start getting traffic, where we start getting impressions from, is where Google gets to index our page, right? So this indexing takes it as let me use a very, very simple example, right? It's just as though you have told Google about your website, right? Told Google about your website, and now you're giving Google a gate pass or a direct access to probably advertise your website free of charge, right? So this is how indexing works. The first step is crawling, the second step is indexing, right? Now, indexing can happen in two ways, right? So you can decide to submit your sitemap and gradually wait for Google to index your website, or you can decide to submit your URL, your important pages URL individually, and Google gets to index your website. Now, this is what I mean here. Over here, you see URL inspection, right? So for this URL inspection, what I just need to do, I just need to click it and fix in any URL I want to put. So let's say, for example, www.imarketing.com.ng, right? Now, they will tell you receiving data from. If this page has been indexed, got it. If this page has been indexed, it's going to show here, right? If it has not been indexed, it's going to show here. Now, if for example this page has not been indexed, what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to request indexing. If I feel this is an important page, I'm going to request indexing here. And after I request indexing, it takes probably less than 24 hours or 48 hours. they'll give me a message here. So if you look at this, I have lots of messages coming here from my indexing and things like that, right? So that is one of the ways to get your pages, your important pages fast, right? So first of all, you can submit your sitemap. Submitting sitemap is one way, right? Submitting sitemap is Google takes its time to gradually start indexing and start putting your website on the search engine, right? And the other way is to individually submit your URL through the URL inspections, right? So once you have done that, in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days down the line, you start getting impressions, right? Impressions means you are beginning to get visible for a particular keyword or a particular search term. That's how it works. Gradually, you start optimizing for those keywords, for those search terms, and start building and creating content around it. And that's how this search engine process begins, right? Because this is the first step. Because why I always recommend you using the search console is that you want to know how your website is performing, right? I want to track, very, very important. You want to track the data coming in. So trying to see. Okay, so looking at these two pages here, you see these are the two pages that are bringing up these two impressions. You see, 5 ways to make money as a blogger, imarketing.com.ng. This is my homepage. Then you can come here and look at the from which countries these pages are coming up, right? Then you look at the devices, look at search appearance, okay, no much data, then look at the dates, right? So that is how simple and easy search console is to operate, right? I hope this is very, very clear. I'm looking forward to get questions from you, and for more explanation, you can always read out on this blog, right? See you next time. Cheers.